So growing up a lot of my life, I was always a people pleaser, a person pleaser. I always wanted to make sure that everyone else's problems are solved before my own. Even still now as an adult, I still have that problem. I still have a lot of times where I will try to solve somebody else's problem before I solve my own, which is why a lot of times I end up in the predicaments that I'm 99% of the time in. Even now as an adult, I always say yes a lot, even though when I know I should be saying no for what I still don't know. I'm 25 years old and I've been saying yes all the time. I used to think it was because that way I don't hurt someone's feelings, but I guess that's where people start to talk about like boundaries and things like that. But even then, it's still taking me a while to process and understand what those kind of things are. But I can remember this because I'm the type of person to always say yes, such a people pleaser. That was my comfort thing, always saying yes to not have any problems or any confrontations and things like that. And I can remember a time where I had a few friends, and I think I was what 16, 17. I had just met this boy. He was a few years older than me. He had just graduated high school. I was a junior in high school. He had just graduated. So in my head, I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, he's just, oh, he's so awesome. He's so cool. No, not the situation at all. And so because of that, basically I had one of my friends talk me into basically sneaking out the house in the middle of the night and going with these guys so we can go out to this party. At the time, I was living in North Sacramento, not too far from our light rail station. Um, and so basically, we snuck out the house. It was probably like 11 o'clock because we hopped on a last light rail. We hopped on a light rail, went all the way out to downtown where they met us. They picked us up in their car, and the only thing I'm sitting in the car thinking to myself is, oh my gosh, Mariah, what kind of situation have you gotten yourself into? And I'm just sitting in the car thinking to myself, like, how are you about to get home? What are you about to do, really? Like, what are you about to do? You done sat here and let your best friend, we've been friends at that time. We had been friends since we were in probably sixth grade for about 5, maybe 6 years. We known each other, as we say, our whole lives. We finished each other's sentences. So I was so comfortable with her to the point where I let her convince me to say, I didn't really convince her. Again, I never want confrontation. I was always saying yes. So of course I said, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go to this party. And I walk into this party. It's not even a party. It's probably like a handful of us, if even that. And I'm just sitting around thinking to myself, so this is what I've been dragged into. People just sitting around drinking. It wasn't anything that I was used to. So basically the person that came and picked us up is just drinking and drinking and drinking. I'm just watching this person just drink over and over again, like, oh my gosh, like, this person has to take me home in a couple of hours. I have to be home before my mom wakes up to have to get to work at 6 in the morning. So I'm just watching this guy drink and drink and drink. The only thing I can think to myself is, how are you guys about to get home? So I tell my friend, like, hey girl, like, what are we about to do? And so she actually ended up calling the cops and telling them that we had been kidnapped and we needed to find a ride home. So long story short, the police ended up running into the house and escorting me and my best friend back home to our parents, who were very, 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 very upset. I can't even describe how upset I was. I'm pretty sure if I bring it up to my mom today, she'd be pissed. um and a lot of times, even now as an adult, I think about that story a lot because it was so simple and so easy for somebody to just give me a few words and convince me to just say yes, let's do it. And i'm i'm I've never been outside of my comfort zone. She is my comfort zone, and so because of that, I allowed her to, I don't know if I say I allowed her, I allowed her to I allowed her to make me say yes, I guess, if you want to call it that. But even though it was my own decision. So I am learning now how to put up, I guess, what people are calling, guys, boundaries, to learn how to say no and to make myself comfortable and put myself in situations like that. Learning how to say no gets you a very, very, very long way.